What if the biggest upset of Day 3 doesn't come from the minnows, but from Africa's finest knocking out the five-time world champions? June 13, 2026. MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. Brazil versus Morocco. On paper, Brazil are the favorites. 5 World Cups. Carlo Ancelotti on the bench. Vinicius Junior, Rafinha, Rodrigo, one of the most lethal attacking units on the planet. But here's what nobody is saying. Neymar is doubtful. A Grade 2 CAF tier has kept Brazil's all-time leading scorer on an individual program since May 17th. Brazil beat Panama 6-2 and Egypt 2-1 without him. But Morocco is not Panama or Egypt. And Morocco? They arrive with a brand new coach who has never managed at senior international level before today. Mohamed Ouahbi stepped up from the under-20 side just 3 months ago. His first senior competitive match as head coach is against Brazil at a World Cup. That is either madness or genius. In 2022, Morocco knocked out Spain and Portugal on their way to the semi-finals. They shocked the world. Can they do it again? Let's be honest. Even without Neymar, Brazil are frightening. Carlo Ancelotti has built a direct, transition-heavy 4-2-3-1 system designed around one simple idea: get the ball to Vinicius Junior in space. And when Vinicius gets space, the most explosive winger on the planet, defenses fall apart. Rafinha of Barcelona arrives in career-best form. He had over 30 goal contributions in La Liga this season. He is the creative brain, the set-piece taker, the man who makes things happen when Brazil need a moment of inspiration. In midfield, Bruno Guimarães of Newcastle is the engine. Aggressive pressing, ball progression, the kind of midfielder who can control a match from deep. Casemiro shields the defense and allows the fullbacks to push high. And up front, in Neymar's likely absence, Matheus Cunha of Wolverhampton leads the line. Cunha had a brilliant Premier League season. He is direct, skillful, and works tirelessly. He is not Neymar, but he will cause Morocco problems. Brazil beat Panama 6-2 and Egypt 2-1 in warm-up matches. The goals are flowing. The confidence is high. Ancelotti has warned his team that patience is required against Morocco's defensive block, but Brazil have the quality to break any defense down. The question is whether they can do it without their greatest weapon. Here's the brutal truth about this match. Neymar suffered a Grade 2 calf muscle tear on May 17th at Santos. The CBF confirmed the injury and ruled him out of both warm-up matches. By June 8th, a new scan showed good progress, but Ancelotti has been deliberately vague about whether Neymar starts against Morocco. A Grade 2 tier, 3 weeks of recovery, and then straight into a World Cup opener against one of the most physically demanding defenses in world football, even if Neymar is on the bench, and that's not certain. Starting him from the off would be a massive gamble. And here's why it matters. Neymar is the player who unlocks defenses that sit deep. His dribbling, his creativity in tight spaces, his ability to draw fouls and create set-piece opportunities. These are the weapons Morocco knows how to nullify pace from wide areas like Vinicius. But Neymar's creativity in the center? That's a different problem entirely. Without Neymar, Ancelotti's system is more predictable. Morocco know exactly how Brazil will attack, and that predictability is dangerous against a team as well organized as the Atlas Lions. Don't let anyone tell you Morocco are here to make up the numbers. Yes, Walid Regragui, the coach who led them to the 2022 semi-finals, is gone. Yes, Mohamed Ouahbi is new to senior football, but look at the squad he has inherited. Achraf Hakimi, PSG captain, Champions League winner, arguably the best right-back in the world. Hakimi's overlapping runs, his pace, his delivery. He is a weapon going forward and a wall coming back. Sofiane Amrabat, Real Betis midfielder, the man who dominated the midfield at Qatar 2022. His work rate, his defensive intelligence, his ability to recycle possession. He is the engine of everything Morocco does without the ball. But the real danger? Brahim Diaz of Real Madrid. This man was the best player at the Africa Cup of Nations. 5 goals, 1 golden boot. He drifts inside from the right, creates in tight spaces, and can produce something from nothing. He will look to find half-turns between Brazil's defensive lines and feed runners off him. Marquinhos and the Brazilian center-backs must be awake to his movement every single second. And here's the wild card. 18-year-old Ayoub Bouadi of Lille. Uncapped, fearless, and called up by Ouahbi from the under-20 World Cup winning squad. If Ouahbi hands him minutes, Brazil face a teenager with absolutely nothing to fear. Morocco qualified with a 100% record, scoring 22 goals and conceding just 2. They don't lose easily. Here's the angle that fascinates me most about this match. Carlo Ancelotti is one of the greatest coaches in football history. Champions League titles with Real Madrid, AC Milan, Liverpool, Premier League with Chelsea, La Liga. The man has won everything. He has managed in every high-pressure situation football can create. And across from him, Mohamed Ouahbi, 49 years old, brilliant youth coach, led Morocco's under-20 side to the 2025 U20 World Cup title. But he has never managed a senior competitive match before today. This is the most extreme coaching contrast of the entire tournament. Now here's the thing. Ouahbi was the one who said, "I'm not here to build. The foundations are already in place. I'm here to keep performing." That is confidence. That is belief. And with the talent in Morocco's squad, it might be enough. But managing 26 elite professional footballers at a World Cup, dealing with egos, managing substitutions, reading a match tactically at the highest level, is completely different from managing under-20s. The pressure, the speed of decision-making, the intensity, it is a different world. If Brazil start well and Morocco look disorganized, the question becomes, can Ouahbi make the tactical adjustments fast enough? Because Ancelotti absolutely will. 3 battles that decide this match. Basse Atala 1, Vinicius Junior versus Achraf Hakimi. The most explosive duel of the entire group stage. Vinicius, the fastest, most direct winger in world football, against Hakimi, one of the very few fullbacks with the raw pace and intelligence to contain him. This is a battle between 2 of the greatest players at their position on the planet. Whoever wins this duel wins the match. Battle 2. Rafinha versus Sofiane Amrabat. Ancelotti has instructed Rafinha to operate close to Morocco's defensive line to exploit vertical spaces. Amrabat's job is to track every movement, prevent Rafinha from receiving the ball on the half-turn, and shut down the passing lane. If Amrabat is disciplined, Brazil's center is clogged. If Rafinha escapes, Brazil create danger directly. Battle 3. Brahim Diaz versus Brazil's center-backs. This is Morocco's best chance to score. Diaz's movement, drifting inside from the right, finding half spaces, is designed to drag Brazilian defenders out of position. Marquinhos and the center-back partnership must remain compact and communicate constantly. Brazil's plan, overload the wide areas. Vinicius left, Rafinha right, with Hakimi drawn into defensive duty on one side. Morocco's fullback on the other side becomes vulnerable. Brazil will flood wide and look for crosses, cutbacks, and combination play in the channels. Morocco's plan, 2 banks of 4, extremely compact, invite Brazil to have the ball in front of them. Their counterattack, through Diaz, El Khanous, and pace from wide positions, is the weapon. The moment Brazil's fullbacks both push high, the ball over the top to Diaz or Bilal El Khanous creates instant danger. The critical period, the first 25 minutes. If Morocco survive the early pressure with the score at 0-0, the belief grows. The crowd in New Jersey, who will largely support Brazil, starts to tense, and that's when Diaz can strike. The X factor, the new coach effect. In football, when a new coach takes charge of a talented squad, the first few matches often produce unexpected results because the players are energized, motivated, and desperate to prove themselves under fresh leadership. Morocco's squad is hungry. They feel they have something to prove after losing Regragui, after the painful AFCON final penalty miss, after being written off because their coach is inexperienced. Every single player in that Morocco dressing room is playing with a chip on their shoulder tonight. And a motivated, hungry, organized Morocco, with Hakimi, Diaz, and Amrabat leading them, is one of the most dangerous teams in world football. Brazil need to be perfect, and without Neymar, perfect is hard. My prediction: Brazil 2, Morocco 1. Brazil's quality will tell in the end. Vinicius will win the Hakimi battle at least once, and that moment, one moment of magic, will be the difference. Rafinha will add the second with a stunning long-range effort or a set-piece that Ouahbi's organized defense fails to handle. Morocco will score, probably through Brahim Diaz in the second half with a stunning individual goal that briefly silences the stadium, but Brazil's depth off the bench, and Ancelotti's reading of the game, will see the Seleção through. Brazil 2, Morocco 1. But Morocco will leave New Jersey with immense respect and real belief they can qualify from this group.